So welcome to the Teddy Awards, to the Berlinale. I think at first I would like to know how your film was received by the audience of the festival.
Well, I think
what were
most
the reactions?
people are quite impressed, right?
Yeah.
It's because we just hear good, positive reactions, but I think that's quite natural because usually you don't hear the negative ones.
Probably not. Yeah, that's the thing. At the first screening, they don't dare.
No.
But it's a very beautiful film, and my first thing, and I hope it's not an insult, but my first association was like it's a little bit of a gay Berlin calling or something. Have you heard something like this?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you have the party scene, you have this, you know,
Yeah.
little bit cliché of Berlin.
Well,
you have these amazing characters.
So Berlin Calling was like 6 years ago, and it worked very well and was very successful. I was surprised that there wouldn't be other Berlin party films after that, and I waited for 2 years, 3 years, nothing came afterward, and then I thought like, okay, I do one, and and I want to tell a gay story because like Berlin Calling is quite, although they have a lesbian scene in Berlin Calling.
They're beautiful.
So, but we didn't want to copy Berlin Calling, and our film is very different from it, I guess, because it's also a thriller and more of a love story, and they take drugs in our film too, but it's not so much the focus of the film, and we don't want, there's nothing about rehab or whatever.
They're mine.
Are you sure? Can you prove it?
Yes. It's me on the pictures.
It doesn't look like you.
Give them back.
What do you need them for?
They're for a friend.
So, they're for me? I like this tune. My father always said, if somebody died, they would head to heaven.
You know them?
They're Elena and Costas.
Who?
Dimitri's sister and his cousin. Why you don't talk with them? Just tell them you have no idea where Dimitri is.
Look at the cops on me. You told them where I live.
I did not tell them anything.
You're a liar.
But you showed me Berlin Calling to the research of this character. Well, you told me...
Not so much for the character, but for the scene
For
that
the
it would
scene.
take place.
Yeah.
Because our illusion head was already, when I wrote it, I had, like, for the outside club scenes, I had the bar 25 in my mind, of course. And then, but when we came to realize that bar 25 was closed, other locations were closed because Berlin's constantly changing, and all the places that were in my original script didn't exist anymore, so we had to do it somewhere else. But that is interesting in itself, that like I think if you watch Lucia 2 years from now on, like nothing will be the same anymore.
So what does Berlin represent for you, or what is it supposed to represent in the film? The city as itself.
Clubs. And also like wild sport. It's quite like skydiving, but in a flat space. So a lot of party tourists came to Berlin to skydiving in a club with drugs and with sex, and it's they don't jump from a plane, but they they jump in another in another way. So I think I'm Spanish and I live in Spain. For me, represents a bit like a skydiving thing, but inside a club.
I think there's quite interesting quote in the film which puts it to the point. It's the drugs are cheap.
Drinks are cheap, the clubs
never
never close,
close,
and the drugs
are
are
almost
almost
for free.
So it sounds like we're doing promotion for Berlin tourism agency to attract more party tourists. But I mean the subtitle, the real title then is "Lose Your Head." So, and that maybe points in a bit darker direction that the film is actually taking. It's not just like advertising for funny Berlin party people. And that's like just the background for the film. The real story is about love and trust, and how can you fall in love and you want to trust a stranger because you have these strong emotions, and at the same time you know that he can really hurt you very badly if just by leaving you or by tormenting you through his absence or through feelings that are not reciprocated.
Reciprocated?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you decide, when did you get into the game, so to say? Were you involved from the writing process onwards, or when did you decide to be the director?
When I remember correctly, it took Patrick 4 years to write the screenplay.
Yeah.
And we got in touch after the Berlinale last year, so when we showed Detlef
Yes.
here. Yeah. So we started working together at the beginning of March. And so we tried to focus on developing the script or making it a bit better sometimes, because every time when you get a director into it, you of course have to find a way to make how do you say that?
Improvements?
To make improvements and to make it not.
Yeah, but you were very gentle. You didn't
I was very
too
gentle.
much criticism, and so we basically very much agreed on the script and everything. And
what I always liked was the tension the script had at once, and so I didn't feel the need to change a lot.
And actually, like, a lot of people ask us if it was improvised or like the first half looks like almost like documentary or has this documentary feel, but that was all already in the script. I mean, like we were going for that feeling, although we had to like. But it was funny, like, because we had situations where we would film a scene that should have this sort of documentary, typical Berlin feeling, like at my house is this famous chicken snack bar in Görlitzer Bahnhof, and so we arranged like policemen in uniforms to be there, a guy who played a crazy man who would disturb the scene, and that was exactly what happened. I mean, there were real policemen already there eating their chicken, and there were real crazy people disturbing our shooting, so it was actually, I don't know, sometimes it was like reality and the illusion of film was merging, and that is also what's happening in the film, where you can't tell anymore what's real and what's dream and what's an illusion.
What interests you in this concept of not being able to distinguish between, reality and illusion?
Yeah, because I think that is on the one hand, it's this, of course, this drug-induced feeling, and on the other hand, it's a feeling of being in love. Like you don't know anymore if you just imagine it, that the other person is this perfect being, or if the feeling is real. So I think in both ways they're constantly shifting in between reality and dream.
It's also the search of adrenaline. All the time, not only in the clubs situation, also in the love. Being in love, we're searching for your heart beating more fast as usual, so we are looking for adrenaline all the time.
You are, I think.
So did you
I do.
Did you experience it like practically? Did you go out and to get into the feel of your character? Did you experience the Berlin? You probably have experienced the party scene of the city.
Yeah, I did, but
When the
after.
shooting was over.
They didn't want to kill you before.
Well, I came here before. I came here when I was 18. My 18th birthday was in Berlin, so I can tell that if your birthday is in Berlin, well, I don't have to say more about.
Why not? Feel free to elaborate.
No, but I mean, I'm not saying anything. I say everything.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I experienced already the Berlin scene. Years ago of shooting this movie. Now I'm 26. My birthday was long ago.
8 years ago.
Long time ago.
A long time ago. Yeah. So how would you define the relationship you have to your lover, boyfriend? Maybe more lover.
It's more a lover.
It's more a lover. Yeah, it's more a lover.
Yeah. Well, he don't think about if he's a lover or he just want to. I think Marco Mandi, all the thing is that even if he get more scared, he likes him even more.
More attractive.
It's more attractive to him. The mysterious and all this thing it's so turn him on a lot. So I think the story it's like he's became even more suspicious and dangerous while the film is going on, and he's turning on and on even more with the danger, and in the end it's completely like, well, I'm not going to tell the end, but he said, I'm coming over, because even if it's...
No, you said the end.
But nobody knows what is happening.
What it means.
But yeah, what it means. So I think all this danger, it's very interested in the relationship that they have. Mm-hmm. Is danger for one direction, and he takes care a bit of him in the other direction.
He's also charming and funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a bit scared, but he takes care of him. So it's a good mix of attraction and adrenaline and yeah.
So is the film only about danger and threat, or is there also, where do you find the beauty in it from your perspective?
We have three.
The beauty is there.
Yes, of course.
In
we
the
have
nature and in the. It's there all the time.
But there's also like the other side of for me it's very much also about this old idea of the ravers, like to have a family that is like not your natural family but your family of friends that all take care of each other and that go out to the clubs together and that dance together and share their drugs and share their experiences and share their love, and that film has this kind of utopia also in it, especially in like when all the characters come together in the club again in the end and they dance together, and that is for me was very important to have a positive expression of that feeling, because like usually films about drugs are so negative, and our film is maybe also quite dark, but it also wants to show these positive, intense sides of it.
And the music supports us very much. We have some great musicians in the movie. We have two DJs with Friedrich and Touchy Mob, and the music is really great. I think we have to do a soundtrack.
Yes, there's not one yet. You haven't produced one. Like, there's no soundtrack yet.
No, there's no soundtrack yet, but we are still starting with it. The film is finished 4 days ago or 5 days ago. It's really we were in such a hurry to finish the whole movie, and we want to have a soundtrack. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, how was the shooting, like from your perspective too as a director? How did you work with the actors? Was it just more? Did you rehearse before a lot, or was it more a matter of the situation itself, or?
Well, shooting was a bit difficult sometimes, especially when we shot outside, and and of course, there's just a very small time for rehearsing. And from my perspective, rehearsing is not everything, right? So I think it's not really important to get an actor to the point where we want him to be before shooting. But of course, you have to try.
Why don't you tell about our first shooting?
You have to try.
Sorry.
We have to try. Well, you can do that.
Okay.
So I lost the point.
You don't have to get the actor to the point right away, but you have to try to something.
Right. So they have to be. They have to be in the right mood in a way. That's something you have to prepare. And of course, it's getting difficult when you're shooting under documentary style conditions, right? Especially when you're outside. But I think we managed it quite well.
It looks very, very beautiful. It does look very beautiful. But you had something to mention about the first shooting, or the first experience.
I thought maybe Stefan would like to say.
What about you talking about the club scene?
Yeah, like our first shooting day was really the most difficult one, because we arranged a party in Kater Holzig's club, and we invited like thousands of people, and actually 500 came on a Monday night, and then we shot. We started to shoot at 11 o'clock, and we started a real party. I mean, we didn't shoot with the dialogues, and then it went on until the next day in the afternoon. So we
kept shooting all throughout.
Yeah, because we started to shoot inside. I mean, both clubs are in the film are shot on the same day, basically, because the inside scenes are inside Kater Holzig and the outside scene is outside, and we just wanted to have one big party, and it was like super stressful for everybody, director, camera, actors, whatever.
The thing is, you can't communicate. Yeah? You can't, because you always have to shout, and after 5 minutes, I lost my voice in a way, so I always had to shout. And the thing is, the positive effect on that risky thing was that it's sort of documentary, because people are drinking, that maybe took some drugs, I don't know. But it's getting more and more stressful the more people lose control, right? And because you have very strict choreographies and people getting in your way, that was a quite big challenge.
Yeah, but for me it was very important to do it like that and not to fake a club scene, because I always hate club scenes in films when you can see they're just pretending to dance to music and they're pretending to be in a good mood. And at our shooting, actually, they didn't give a shit about the cameras. They were just partying, you know, and they pushed the cameras out of the way. And so that was really hard for Stefan and the cameraman at the moment.
Yeah. There was a moment there was a girl who was completely fucked up, and I remember, and she saw the camera and she made like this, like she didn't want it to be filmed, and it was like, well, we are shooting a movie, that's why you are here. I don't know if you remember that girl.
Of course I do.
But I think
she just forgot about she was in a set. And she made argument with the camera woman, and it was like, well.
I think it was really worth it.
No, and she's on the movie, and she looks amazing.
Oh, really?
She's. You edited.
The one with the tattoos?
No, the one with the brown hair, and she looks really good.
The beautiful one?
Yeah, the beautiful one.
No.
That one.
I'm so in love with her.
I could see her.
And that one.
Oh,
Well,
really?
we beat. In the film is 5 minutes. We were, as they say, 14 hours. So the argument maybe it was later of this beautiful moment.
Beautiful woman. My
But
God.
that kind of concept of shooting is the thing which makes
Reality,
maybe more magical, right? Because when I remember when you arrived for the very first time, we haven't seen each other yet, and Patrick always called him, say, you have to take the left entrance
In the airport.
or exit, and we started shooting at once. So the very
before we
first
met.
moment was shooting.
You didn't know that.
Well, we
He knew
Skyped and we had a relation by Skype, but we never met personally.
So which clothes he had to wear, which exit he had to take, which rucksack he had to put on his back.
It was
Because
he told me, okay, when you go out for the airport, you're gonna have how do you
sign?
a sign, so you have to look up, and then you decide to go to the right. and I didn't met them before, and it was like, okay, and it was illegal to. Well, it was illegal.
By the way, it was illegal.
I mean, it's cinema.
I must say, I mean, it's a funny story because we were in such a hurry to film. We were always in such a hurry to film this scene at the airport because we wanted to film it at Schönefeld Airport, at the old airport, and not at the new one. And the new one was about to be opened like 4 weeks later, but we wanted to shoot at the old one, and we thought it would be closed. And then 2 days after we did this dangerous guerrilla shooting, they said like, oh, okay, it's postponed. So we.
I have one question about this. I remember now. I always wanted to ask it. I watched it a couple of weeks ago because you show this. There's this black man being arrested by 2 police officers.
We don't show it anymore. That was my. I just wanted to mention that.
Sorry.
Because
but what happened there? Like, why did you put it in there? And I was like, well, is this a statement on racism or on?
It's not in the movie anymore.
It's in the movie anymore. Okay.
And it wasn't a statement of racism. It's not there anymore because of editing. But the idea was like because Viktor is illegal in Germany. So the idea was like a party tourist arrives and somebody who's like illegal gets deported back to.
But that was staged, or was it a real situation?
That was staged.
It was staged, right? Yeah. It was staged.
And so we wanted to have this theme of being illegal and the risk of being deported, like to have it in the film at the first moment. It didn't really work, so we cut it out. And you thought it was maybe racist, so maybe it's good we cut it out. Like.
Yes, I was very. I mean, yeah, I was very. I thought this might have been like a statement towards.
I mean, it was, yeah. No, I mean, it was also the idea like one film starts and another one's films end. You know, like one arrives in Berlin, another one gets deported. So.
But we're not talking about the film anymore, right? We're talking about outtakes now.
It's not in there anymore. Exactly. So, but how did you experience how long did the shooting go? Actually, how long did you shoot?
33 days in 30 days in Berlin and 3 days in Madrid.
Okay, wow.
It was hard.
And you said you didn't meet before, so everything had to happen after you arrived. All the rehearsing, all the discussion.
The airport scene was just our first meeting in May, and then he came again,
Yeah,
and then the reshooting started in July.
Okay, so there was a time where you could get to know each other.
Yeah.
And how did you communicate with other people?
In English?
I think we clicked immediately just through the script. I mean, I sent him the script to Spain. He loved it, and then we had already an understanding. And I had like just this intuition. Yeah, you want to say?
You can say he watched a movie who is about a party tourist in London who I played. The name in German is London Nights, Unmade Beds in English. So when he watched it, he thought I was the perfect role to be a party tourist in Berlin. So I'm experiencing party tourists around the world. And
actually, the guy in Unmade Beds is not a party tourist. He comes there to find his father.
Yeah,
he has a mission.
But he go party and
he goes party all the
and
time,
he wake up and he never know when. I mean, he don't remember anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the characters.
Yeah, so he watched it and we understand a bit what was the character.
London was Berlinale as well, right?
Yeah, London Night, it was in the Berlinale 3 years ago, in Generation.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Unmade Beds because in German they changed the title. Okay. London Nights is in
the German title.
German title. So what did you learn from this experience, and how long did it take you a long time to get into the character, or was it very easy for you to just improvise and play, or what?
The what? Sorry. The whole
getting into your character. You know, this process of, I don't know what you have, what strategies you have as an actor, to work on your character and to get into it. And then how far Stefan was maybe supportive.
Yeah, of course, he supported also the actor Marco Manditz. It's very easy to work with him, so he gave it to you it makes everything very easy, and I have a lot of scenes with him. For me, as an actor, I'm looking for the truth. I mean, for the reality. So it's when I play a character, I search for believe the moment in that in the real moment.
Yeah.
So of course we can talk a lot before about it, but many things can happen at 2 o'clock in the day, in the third day of a shoot. So that is the moment to feel and to play and to give the truth to the character, with all the background that we talked already in Skype and the research that I had for my real experiences and for listen to music and everything. But I think for me is the moment.
The moment.
Yeah.
I mean, sex scenes are always kind of challenging or difficult in films. I think it's to really, you know, that they come across authentically. And did you? How was that? How did you experience that?
Sex scene.
The sex scene. Sex. Do you know, to come across when you, especially as an audience, you know, you very easily can maybe feel if it's authentic or if it was really staged or something. Did you do something? Did you rehearse it, or did you talk about that, or did you just do?
I rehearsed in person, so I was part of it, and I tried out how it feels doing it with him and then with Marco Mandic.
Who was the best?
But the thing is, it was quite easy. So not just talking about the sex scene, working with Fernando and Marco was extremely easy, because I always had the impression as if they understood everything. I think the characters are quite, the characters in the script are quite similar to the natural characters in a way. And so the only thing I always had to say was, I love to see you thinking. Right, that was all. And I think they had such a good relationship, Marco and Fernando, that the sex thing came absolutely natural. It's always very, very exciting for a director, because you don't know how far you can get. You can, if I want, bad example, but if I want to see Marco's or Fernando's ass in the picture, right? I'm always you're always a bit shy if you can really ask someone, because you participate in a very intimate moment. And I remember that scene that really shocked me in a way, because it was real passion they showed us. And then he started choking him. And he started choking with Fernando, and suddenly there was a different quality. It was not passion; it was death at the same time, and it really it was sort of really touching. And when we finished the shooting day, all these images came back, and I was completely shocked, because I had the impression as if I really experienced something which is true. There's passion and death at the same time. It was.
And I think it helped that I think Marco Mandic and Fernando Tierra, they're the most fearless persons that I know, or the most fearless actors that I know. They're not afraid of anything. And it was really dangerous during the sex scenes, because maybe you see it in the film that after the sex scene, like Fernando's body is covered with blue spots, with like bruises that he had gotten from doing the sex scenes with Marco Mandic, because they were so intense.
They were
intense
so
that it left its marks on his little body.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, it's I don't scared about doing. I think it's a very natural thing, and it's all. Everybody makes a bit like a taboo, and everybody, directors or camera, or they get a bit stressed with it, with the sex scene, and I mean.
But I guess it's just also a little bit of respect, because you really give a lot, you know. Because this is the most extreme you can give as a human being. There's
the sex
more.
scene.
Yeah, if as an actor, I think, you know, like that's the most you can.
I think as an actor, I think the sex scene is where you where you really don't play. You just
do.
So it's the easier thing. During the shoot, I remember. Other scenes, maybe for an audience it was more easy to play, or But the sex scenes, you just have to do, and it was not. It was not a. It was not a explicit. I mean, I didn't get. It was not like short pass.
You're not, but he did.
No, I mean, no. The short pass, or there are movies, or Ken Park. There are movies that they.
I think it's not correct what you say, because you of course you say just doing, you just have to do it, but when you do it in real life, you offer a lot of passion and you open up a lot, and this is something you have to do in front of the camera as well. Otherwise, it won't work. So you can't be shy or whatever. So I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
Although I think that crying in front of the camera is even.
Oh, that's true. I always admire that. I'm like, oh, how does that work? Yeah.
I think we put into they put into practice what like James Franco demands in his own film, in Interior Leather, but they're just talking about it, like, oh, we have to put sex scenes in films and gay sex scenes should be in films.
He should put himself on
whatever.
screen.
Yeah, he didn't even get naked. Everybody was disappointed because everybody, of course, only came to see James Franco's cock, and he's not even here. And
he was here,
but he wasn't even at this last night.
But if you want to see cocks in a film, come to our film. You see Marco Mandic cock.
Just one. And we had to keep him from getting undressed all the time.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, he wanted to take off his clothes for all the scenes, and we had to keep. Like, maybe for this scene, you should have a shirt on.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much. I think we got a really great insight into your experience.
You can see Fernando's cock in our film too.
Oh, really? Wait, yeah, but only shadows, right?
It's good. I mean, it's for gay teddy TV.
No, like, totally. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I can show you now.
We'll leave that for Friday for the party. You can do the performance on stage, hopefully. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, Thank you.